In this segment 2, we're going to look at doing editorials or edits in the video as we're doing it. You create the video, as you go through, capture everything on your screen, or you could use the webcam. And then one of the keys, there's hotkeys that you should be aware of, and that's in your recorder preferences, is where I found all of these at to learn how to use them. The first one is Alt-P, which is to pause the video, which I'm finding to be very useful instead of having to stop and redo or something. If I find my thoughts are getting out of sync, then I just go ahead and do an Alt-P to pause the video and be able to regroup. There's Shift-Alt-W, so Shift-Alt-W, and that toggles the screen, which I just did there, and as you can see, and it takes it to the lower right-hand corner. You also can set that wherever you want, meaning the video, that window at. In the recorder preferences, though, one of the things that you have to have, there's 3 choices that are available. One is just the screen, so the webcam is not viewable. The second one is just the webcam, so that's the only thing that's viewable. And then the third one is both of them. To be able to toggle back and forth like I'm doing right here, you need to have both of those selected. Another hotkey that's probably going to be useful from time to time is the draw and zoom function, where you go Shift-Alt-D, and then you see up here in the upper top, this came up, it showed up. I can tell you, resolution of your computer screen is going to be important for you. You'll need to figure out what's going to work for you. All of my programs I have pretty good resolution on, but for some reason on my recording of my Screencast-O-Matic, it's pretty fine, as you can tell here. I'll be honest with you, sometimes I got to use a magnifying glass to figure it out. There's a little video that I'll include into the this segment, and then I'll kind of go over some of these functions that are up here. Okay, something that I just found out. I was trying to do bring my big window up again for the video, but when you have the draw and zoom feature up, it won't let you do that. So I have to turn that off, and then I can go ahead and bring my big video up here, as you can see. But now if I bring my draw and zoom function on, so I go Shift-Alt-D, and it makes it disappear, but then my feature is up here. So I guess that takes that window away so that you can do whatever drawing that you want to do. So I just learned something myself. As you can see, Screencast-O-Matic has a lot of different videos here that you can go to. Again, I think this is for those who have the editing feature that they can use. I didn't really see it there on the free version. I'm going to highlight some of the ones that I think that I use all the time that really help me out. And of course, I am learning different ones. The how to cut is going to be one of them I'm going to look at. There's a find and fix silence narration that can be useful. I think I've not used it before, but I think that would be very helpful. Like I said, the draw and zoom control here, I'll probably include that one. The save as a video file, that I believe it creates as an MP4, because then that way you can use it wherever you want. We'll take a peek at the YouTube to see what that looks like. If I'm not mistaken, I remember I found it easier to actually use the YouTube functionality to upload the file instead of trying to use this one. I can't remember exactly what it was I ran into, but it seems to me using the YouTubes to upload your file was a lot easier than it was using this. But we'll take a peek at that one too. Maybe time permitting, the Google Drive. I don't want to get into where we're starting to overwhelm the video here. This first one is the how to cut video. And there's a couple little tricks I'll try to add on after the video is completed to kind of show you some of the things that they don't really show you in the help file.
Let's show you how to cut out a section of your recording. Click on the Tools menu and select Cut. Select the section to cut by dragging the red bar along the timeline, or if you click on the start or end of the span, you can use the arrow keys to go back and forth.
When you're working with the feature here, one of the things I found is helpful is to actually use the go to the question mark, and it'll take you out onto the website to help you out. May take you right to here, but you can use that on all of the other ones there. The other thing that they really don't show you down in this area here is that you want to position your cursor wherever it is that you want that you're going to start at. And you got to make sure your cursor's over top of the line. I mean, you'd be up a little bit, but so that way it knows where to mark it. You're going to learn how to figure out how to use the space bar to bring your cursor back and forth where you're going to be at. And then notice here they kind of have like their start time on the one side, but there's also on this side a stop time. When you put your cursor over top, and I can't show you on this, and they don't show you in the video, you'll figure out that you can highlight and then kind of like drag this how you want. Additionally, and I can't remember where I found this at, you could hold down the control key, I think it is, and use your left and right arrows, and that will like go by a second, advance or decrease. I think the shift key it increases by 5 seconds or decreases by 5 seconds. And if you just use the arrow key, it's a very fine increment. I think it's like 0.04, 0.05 seconds. So that's something that you'll end up having to play with.
To preview the cut, click the Preview button. Press the OK button or the Enter key to proceed.
That accepts it.
After the cut is added, a dashed red line will show you where the cut happened on the timeline. If you want to later undo the cut, you can seek back to that spot on the timeline. Click this red scissor icon to remove this cut. Create, share, and experience video with Screencast-O-Matic.
On this view is the intro to draw and zoom. You saw me use a couple of the features in the last video on how to cut. So this one's just a little bit more, and they have other ones also that show a little bit more in depth.
You can draw, zoom, use text, or add speech bubbles during your recordings. Start the recorder by clicking on the Record button. Switch to Draw and Zoom mode either by clicking on the pen icon if you are not recording full screen, or by using the hotkey. You can customize the hotkey by clicking the Preferences button. Once in Draw and Zoom mode, the underlying screen will freeze, so you can draw by clicking and dragging the mouse. There are a number of tools you can choose to draw with. Choose by clicking here, or you can use the number key on your keyboard. For example, pressing 2 on your keyboard will switch to the Line tool. Click here to select a new color. To erase drawings, press the E or Delete key, or click the Erase option here. To zoom or magnify, you can double-click the mouse on the spot you'd like to center the zoom on. When you are zoomed in, you can use the arrow keys on your keyboard to nudge the zoom. To zoom out, hold down the Control key or the Command key on Mac and click anywhere on the screen. When you are done drawing and zooming, you can either press the pen icon, the hotkey, or the Escape key. Check out.
The next one I'm showing you is the introduction to scripted recordings. I haven't used this. I pretty much, when you're teaching your subject, I think you're pretty much a good expert on what it is. If you're doing something new, you might want to consider it. Or, if you really do need to follow a script, what I've found, what they do is they put like a teleprompter type screen that is invisible on the video cast itself. So that can be helpful. So this little video here is going to show us how to go through that.
Here's an introduction to Screencast-O-Matic's scripted recording feature. Scripts are a great way to create videos with narration. It keeps your video organized in a thought-out process, and you'll be able to effectively deliver key points in videos, such as lessons, demos, and much more. Let's get started with scripted recordings. Click the Scripted button. Type in a title of your script here. You'll need to break up your script into sections. You can record audio for each section. Type in the sentence or script. Continue on and add a section by hitting the Enter key or clicking Add Section. You can rearrange sections by clicking here on the section number box or typing in a new number. Click the top section to start recording your audio. It will be highlighted in gray. Make sure you choose the correct microphone by clicking this microphone button. Hit the record button when you're ready to go. You'll notice the first section will turn red. Start talking when it turns green. When you're done with the section, click the next button or press the right arrow key to continue on to the next section. If you need to re-record, just hit redo or the delete key. After each audio recording, you will notice how long each section is by looking here on the right. Take into account spots that may take up time. Let's show you an example of this using a search. As you can see here, when you type in a query, you'll need to wait for the results. This takes time, and you'll notice our scripted audio ends before the results appear. The recorder will automatically add silence at the end of the section until we move to the next section. You can click here to see options. You can either delete the section, remove audio, or if you have an audio file, you can import audio. Play back the audio using these controls at the bottom. Need to undo, redo, or go back? Those controls are at the top. Anytime you make changes to your script or audio, those changes are automatically saved. To make it easier to record, you may need to create multiple sections to break up the recording. If you want to record a screen as one section, then you may want to combine sections before recording the video. Let's show you how to do this. Let's combine two audio sections. Click the start of the text in the second section and click the backspace key. Click Yes, and it will combine the text and audio from both sections. To undo, press the undo button. Once you're done with your audio, you can start recording video. Create, share, and experience video with Screencast-O-Matic.
This editing function here, replace a video, is pretty cool. I can't say that I've used it myself, but it's always come across my mind if I didn't want a section or if I wanted to do something, what could I do? And I think this is the answer I've been looking for to be able to do that. It allows you to be able to insert a video or create a video in a particular place. Now, of course, the assumption here is you've already made your initial video and you're doing some editing to it.
Let's show you how to replace a section of your recorded video. First, go to the point on your timeline where you want to replace the video. Click on Tools, select Replace, then Replace Video. Or you can just press the R key and then R key again to start the tool. When you replace the video, you have the option to keep or replace the narration and webcam if they exist in the current recording. A blue span will appear indicating the placement of the area for the new video. To adjust, select the section by dragging the blue bars along the timeline. Or if you click on the start or end of the span, you can use the arrow keys to fine-tune your selection. If you want to preview what the replaced area will look like, press the preview button here. It will seek right before the section, then play through, replacing the area with a placeholder screen, and stopping shortly after the section. Once you are positioned in the right spot, click the Start button, which will bring up a recorder you can use to record new video. If you selected to keep the audio, then the recorder will play back the current narration while you are recording, so you can follow along. Or if you selected not to keep the audio, you can record both video and audio and record for as long as you want. When you are done with the new recording, click the Done button to save it. A colored span will show on the timeline where the replacement was added. If you want to later undo the replacement, you can seek back to that spot on the timeline. Then click this icon, which will bring up a menu with another icon you can press to remove the video you added. Create, share, and experience video with Screencast-O-Matic.
So another feature that's available is this cursor highlighting. Again, you're in your editing function, and you can, sometimes you'll see that the cursor is highlighted with a halo, as they call it, and they're going to go through and show you how you could use that.
Let's show you how to hide or change the cursor on your recording. By default, when you make a recording, your cursor will have a highlight around it to make it more visible and easy to follow. If you have access to the editing tools with Deluxe, you can go into the editor and customize the cursor and highlighting features even further. In this box, it will completely hide the cursor and highlighting. If you click on this icon, it will pull up a menu that you can use to modify the halo around the cursor or the colored dots that appear when you left or right click. To switch off the cursor highlighting, you can click here to select No. To choose a different color, click on this box or choose a new color. Create, share, and experience video with Screencast-O-Matic.
So we're getting near the end of the segments, and this would be, we're going to go upload to Google Drive on this.
You've got a finished video ready to be uploaded. You can choose to trim your video so only a portion of it is published. You can move around these sliders to position where you want your video to start and end. To publish the whole recording, make sure the sliders are at the start and end of your video. We recommend you record at 720p, which will give you best results when uploading. If you didn't record at one of the HD sizes, then you can still resize and reposition the video to fill the 720p size. Let's get started. Click on the menu icon here to pull up all of your upload options, and then select Google Drive. If this is your first upload, you will be prompted to add your account. Grant the screen recorder access to upload to your Google Drive account. Once you allow and finish this process, you will now see the publishing settings for this upload. Click on Account if you want to add another account or switch to a different account. Click on Name to change the title of your video. You can choose the folder to browse your Google Drive folder options and select the appropriate folder. You can use the sharing option to use on Google Drive by clicking here. You are able to remove the cursor completely or show the cursor without any highlighting. Finally, you can increase or decrease the quality of the video, which can help speed up the upload process. Click the Published button once you're ready to go. After your video is uploaded, get a link to copy or use quick share buttons to easily share to Facebook and Twitter.
Let me say something about publishing. They've skipped an entire amount of time that it takes. Whatever the background information that has to be done in creating a video into the proper formatting, it takes a long time. When I did segment 1, that roughly was, I think it's 15 minutes and 30 seconds, it took roughly about 25 minutes, I believe it was, to publish it into an MP4 file. So this is not something that's going to happen super duper quick, okay? So remember, we're dealing with large amounts of data, so you have to keep that in mind. I just don't want you to be surprised when you go ahead and do publishing.
You can also find these links again by clicking on the history icon, which shows a history of all the publishing you've done from the computer you are on right now. Visit our website to learn about other features.
As I said during the publishing to or uploading to Google Drive, this one is upload to YouTube. I do believe it's easier to create your MP4 file, publish that way you have a file that you could use anytime, anywhere, wherever you want to go, and then you can upload those to wherever you want to go. I'm going to show you this video, and
you've got a finished video ready to be uploaded. You can choose to trim your video so only a portion of it is published. You can move around these sliders to position where you want your video to start and end. To publish the whole recording, make sure the sliders are at the start and end of your video. We recommend you record at 720p, which will give you best results when uploading. If you didn't record at one of the HD sizes, then you can still resize and reposition the video to fill the 720p size. Let's get started. Click on the menu icon here to pull up all of your upload options. Click YouTube. If this is your first upload, you will be prompted to add your account. Grant the screen recorder access to upload to your account. Once you allow and finish this process, you will see the publishing settings for this upload. Click on Account if you want to add another account or switch to a different account. Click on Title to change the title of your video. Click Description to add a short description of this video. If you want to provide tags for the video in YouTube, then click on this box and enter comma-delimited tags. You can choose if you want the video to be public, private, or unlisted on YouTube here. Here you can choose the applicable category for your video. You are able to remove the cursor completely or show the cursor without any highlighting. Finally, you can increase or decrease the quality of the video, which can help speed up the upload process. Click the Published button once you're ready to go. You can also find these links again by clicking on the history icon.
So as I said before, this published to YouTube video, they show you 100%, but it takes a long time to do that.
Your video is uploaded. Get a link to copy or use quick share buttons to easily share to Facebook and Twitter. You can also find these links again by clicking on the history icon, which shows a history of all the publishing you've done from the computer you are on right now. Visit our website to learn about other features.
So at this point, I think that's going to conclude my second segment for the editing videos and during recordings and after recordings. I personally like it for what I can do with it, and But I really like Screencast-O-Matic. It's one of the highly rated screen capture and video software packages that are out there. So hopefully this helped you out. If you have any questions, you'll certainly be free to contact me. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.